The tourism slump right now can have a negative impact on job creation as well as the state's ability to generate tax revenue.
You just heard all the time, like, they booked it, they saw the price, and then all of a sudden, when they get to the casino, they fly there, they drive there, they check in, and the price is double. I'm like, well, that's just a scam.
Everything is just so prohibitively expensive. Like, buffets are over 80 bucks. Even just to park on the strip was $20 for an hour.
Did you see those videos? Empty casino floors? The silent slot machines and the hollow, echoing hallways? That's not the off-season. That isn't a Tuesday morning in the middle of July. This is the new, cold reality. This is the ugly truth of a city that is actively, painfully collapsing. The magic, the fantasy that Sin City sold to the world has vanished, replaced by a chilling, expensive silence. How did the entertainment capital of the world get this bad? It's more than just a bad year. This is a betrayal. The unwritten promise Las Vegas made to the world, the promise of accessible fantasy, of feeling like a king, even for a weekend, has been broken. The corporations thought we wouldn't notice their greed. They thought we were stupid. But now the ugly truth is out, and it's backfiring, destroying them from the inside out. Stick with me, because I'm going to break down the 7 key pieces of evidence that prove this corporate scam is imploding. We will follow the money, expose the strategy, and reveal the truth. And when we get to part number 3, I will reveal the real financial numbers behind the infamous resort fee scam, the ones they tried to hide, and show you how this one decision became the single greatest symbol of their corporate greed. Part 1. The Golden Age. Why they lost the middle class. So, where did this collapse truly begin? It started with a betrayal of their single most important customer, the middle class. Let's rewind to the Golden Age, the 1990s. This was the era of the $9.99 all-you-can-eat buffet, the free parking right on the strip, and the pervasive feeling that the casinos wanted you there. They respected you. That cheap steak dinner and the free-flowing drinks weren't just perks. They were the bait in a brilliant scam. It was an unwritten contract. You come here, you risk your money at our tables, and in return, we will treat you like royalty. We will give you a fantasy world at a price you can afford. The gambling was the price of admission to a spectacle. This was the genius of Vegas. It made the average American, the plumber from Ohio, or the teacher from California feel rich, valued, and respected. They weren't just tolerated, they were celebrated. That feeling, that accessible dream, is what built the modern strip. But the corporations forgot one crucial detail. The scam only worked as long as both sides held up their end of the deal. The customers came to gamble, and the casinos provided the value. Then, the corporations got greedy. They decided to keep the gamble, but kill the value. Part 2. The corporate greed scam. How they lost them. This is the switch. The Golden Age wasn't just forgotten. It was systematically dismantled by one thing: corporate greed. The unwritten contract was torn up. Suddenly, parking wasn't free. It became a $25 anxiety, then $50 anxiety. That $9.99 buffet? It vanished, replaced by $45 artisan brunch experiences and $26 bottles of water in your room.
The biggest criminal situation I've ever been involved in. Not drugs. It's 2 Fiji waters and 1 cup of coffee for $67 fucking dollars at the Fontainebleau. 67 fucking dollars. What?
Every single item that once felt like a perk was monetized. It was a strategy of 1,000 cuts, designed to bleed you dry. But the ultimate insult, the pinnacle of their arrogance, was the resort fee scam.
You just heard all the time, like, they booked it, they saw the price, and then all of a sudden, when they get to the casino, they fly there, they drive there, they check in, and the price is double. I'm like, well, that's just a scam.
A mandatory, non-negotiable charge, often $50 per night, deceptively hidden from the advertised price, for amenities that used to be included, like Wi-Fi, or using the pool you were already paying for. It's a deliberate lie to trick you on booking sites. This wasn't just a price adjustment. This was a hostile new philosophy. It was the infamous no more Riff Raff strategy. A quiet, arrogant corporate decision to purge the middle class. They openly decided that the plumber from Ohio was no longer good enough. They only wanted the whale, the high roller, the nightclub bottle service crowd. They didn't just raise prices, they added insult to injury. The message was clear. You are no longer welcome here, unless you are willing to be ripped off at every turn. The disrespect was blatant, and the middle class, they felt the betrayal, and they began to leave. Part 3. The financial backfire. The scam explodes. And now that plan is backfiring spectacularly. On paper, Wall Street loved it. The corporations called it ancillary revenue or unbundling services. They looked at their spreadsheets and saw the resort fee scam as millions in pure, easy profit. They thought they were geniuses. But what their spreadsheets couldn't measure was the toxic resentment they were building. The ugly truth is in the numbers they didn't want to talk about. While they bragged about high room rates, the total visitor numbers began to drop, 9% year over year. And that weekday hotel occupancy? It's now struggling at 78%. Let's be clear, 78% isn't pretty good. For a business model built on 95% occupancy, 78% is a catastrophe. It means on any given Tuesday, the strip is nearly 1/4 empty. Empty rooms mean empty restaurants, empty showrooms, and silent casino floors. What does this prove? You cannot insult your customers and expect them to return. The $50 resort fee didn't just create $50 in profit. It created an enemy. It cost them a customer for life. That plumber from Ohio they despised. He didn't just stop coming. He went on YouTube. He went on TripAdvisor. And he told 10 of his friends, "Vegas is a ripoff. Don't go." The greed didn't create new revenue. It destroyed future loyalty. They traded a long-term, loyal customer for a cheap, one-time cash grab. The strategy of purging the middle class is working, but it's left them with empty casinos and silent streets. Part 4. The identity collapse. The mauling of Vegas. But the greed didn't just kill their loyalty. It killed their soul. This is the identity collapse, and it might be the most tragic part of the story. The old Vegas, the one built on the Golden Age scam, had a distinct personality. It was pirates and volcanoes, Roman emperors and Egyptian pyramids. It was the neon jungle. It was tacky, yes, but it was unique. It was a fantasy. It was a spectacle you could only get in one place on Earth. The new corporate Vegas, run by MBAs in suits who were embarrassed by the tacky reputation, decided this fantasy wasn't luxury enough. They confused expensive with valuable. So they began to destroy it. They imploded the unique themed casinos. They shut down the free pirate shows. They tore down the history. And what did they build in their place? Glass high-rises, sterile, soulless conference centers, and luxury malls. This is the malling of Vegas. The Strip has been transformed into a homogeneous, artificial outdoor shopping center that feels just like Rodeo Drive, or Shanghai, or Dubai. You can find a Gucci store in any major city. You could only find the pirate battle at Treasure Island in Las Vegas. By chasing the luxury dollar, they destroyed the one thing that made them special. They became boring. And this corporate greed for a higher-class customer peaked with the disastrous F1 race. They chased a temporary elite event and in the process declared war on everyone else. They walled off the Strip for months, created massive gridlock, cut down historic trees, and actively punished the regular tourists and locals. It was the ultimate symbol. They were willing to physically barricade their city from their own customers, all for a tiny elite. They killed their own fantasy and replaced with someone else's. And now the soul is gone. Part 5. The Gen Z Collapse. Why they lost the future. So, they successfully purged the middle class. They destroyed their own identity. What was the master plan? To capture the next generation. But this led to the second climax collapse. They didn't just lose their past. They completely failed to capture the future. The ugly truth is that Gen Z and millennials do not care about the core product Las Vegas sells. This is a generation that grew up with the internet. The sin of gambling is now on their phone 24/7. They don't need to fly to a desert to be disappointed by a slot machine. This generation, drowning in student debt and economic pressure, is not interested in expensive, artificial, passive entertainment. They don't want to sit at a $25 a hand blackjack table. They don't want to pay a $300 cover charge to stand in a crowded nightclub. What do they want? Authentic experiences, culture, connection, unique, shareable moments that feel real. And Vegas, in its corporate, soulless, artificial luxury mall state, is the exact opposite of that. It's a factory for inauthenticity. They want to explore a real city, not a curated shopping center. They want to find a hidden bar, not be herded into a velvet rope line. The corporate greed that led to the mauling of Vegas made the city terminally uncool to the very generation it needed to survive. They lost the future because they offered them nothing real, nothing but the same overpriced, inauthentic experience they were already rejecting at home. Part 6. The economic pressure, the final nail. And this is the final nail in the coffin. Because this is the part of the story where the corporation's arrogance slams headfirst into reality. Even if that plumber from Ohio wanted to come back, even if he was willing to forgive the resort fee scam and the no more Riff Raff insult, he simply cannot afford to. The ugly truth is that while Vegas was busy making itself more expensive through greed, the rest of the world was being crushed. We are living through an era of crippling inflation. The cost of groceries, gas, rent, and car payments has exploded. The disposable income that fueled the golden age has not just shrunk. For millions of Americans, it has vanished. The Vegas corporations in their insulated boardrooms either didn't see this or they didn't care. They believed they were recession-proof. They thought the demand would last forever. So what did they do? They doubled down on their insane prices. Now look at the math from the perspective of that struggling middle-class family.
A ticket to Vegas used to be like $100 to $200 max. Now you looked for a flight to Vegas, it's like $400 to $700. What? Are you crazy? It's Vegas.
They see $400 flights. They see the cheap $80 room that instantly becomes $150 after the resort fee and taxes are added. They see the $50 parking fee just to store their car. They see the $100 buffet for a family of 4. Before they have even placed a single bet, they are $1,000 in the hole. A weekend trip that used to be an affordable $500 fantasy is now a $2,000 nightmare. It's simple math. The corporation's insane prices, driven by greed, collided head-on with the economic pressure of a struggling population. Vegas deliberately made itself a luxury product at the exact moment its core customers could no longer afford basic goods. It is a trip that is, quite simply, out of reach. The middle class isn't just choosing not to come. They are now financially locked out. Part 7. The final verdict. The Vegas collapse. So here is the final verdict. This is the Vegas collapse in a nutshell. It is a two-front failure, born entirely from corporate greed. On the first front, they launched a deliberate, arrogant war against their core customers, the middle class. They betrayed them, insulted them with the no more Riff Raff strategy, and purged them with insane prices and resort fees. On the second front, they failed to secure their future customers, Gen Z. They destroyed their own unique identity, replacing the fantasy of Vegas with a soulless, artificial luxury mall that Gen Z finds boring and inauthentic. They lost their past and lost their future in one single catastrophic miscalculation. And now, they are paying the price. The ugly truth of the empty casinos is this: there is no one left to come. The middle class fled, and Gen Z never arrived. From the golden age scam that built an empire to the corporate greed that tore it down. From the resort fee betrayal to the financial backfire that proved the customers were gone. From the identity collapse that made them boring to the Gen Z collapse that made them irrelevant. And finally, the economic pressure that locked the gates for good. In the end, the corporations behind Las Vegas forgot a simple truth. You cannot build an empire by disrespecting your customers. They betrayed the unwritten promise. They turned the heart of the city into a cold spreadsheet. And they chose short-term greed over long-term loyalty. Now, they are standing in the wreckage of that arrogance, staring at the silent, empty casinos they created. But what do you think? Are you one of the people who has finally given up on Las Vegas? Have you experienced this greed firsthand? Let me know your story, your resort fee nightmare, in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives that expose the ugly truth behind the world's biggest corporations, don't forget to like and subscribe.